Salutations! Welcome to the conversation. I am your host, the Queen of Shade, and I would like to formally, cordially, gleefully, and joyfully welcome you to One-on-One with the Queen of Shade Season 2. There are going to be a lot of surprises in this season. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces that have been here before, and some new ones. And it's going to be an amazing journey of discovery. Remember, these are not interviews. These are inner views. Let us see what your soul looks like. So pull up a chair and don't forget to comment, like, share, and most of all, subscribe. To follow the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Queen of Shade, and you can follow the show there. There's also a podcast version of the show, but that hasn't come all the way out yet. I did a soft launch, but that will be coming out too. Season 1 was absolutely crazy. There are 253 episodes of Season 1. Yes, I was running off of pure adrenaline, pure spirit, pure excitement, and we got that done. So you can expect Season 2 to be just as magnanimous and crazy and explosive. There will be some great conversations that you will be able to take things away from and apply to your natural life. 253 episodes. Let's see what we do for Season 2. I love all of you and thank you for supporting, watching, commenting, liking, sharing, because baby, we're on this journey together. We're not on here alone. I'm not on here alone. My guests are not on here alone. You're right along with us. So once again, welcome to the conversation. Now let's get to the conversation.
You fall. The Queen of Shade.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. Mister, how's your wife and kids? Do they know you like to handle this? I say, mister, why punish your son? 'Cause his daddy likes my kind of fun. And at night you always call my phone. You're always asking if I'm all alone. And when I tell you that I need your love, you come running just to feel me up. Baltimore native, hairstylist, and entrepreneur, Challis, Aubre.
Salutations, Queen of Shade here, coming to you with a very special presentation, moving full speed ahead, getting to know and speak with amazing people around the world has been quite an opportunity for me. I must say it changed my life. And here I am in Season 2 of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade. And it is amazing. We are chatting with a lot of amazing people because these are conversations. These are not interviews. If you think that I'm going to fire a bunch of questions at them, no, that's not going to happen. That's not where you get that information here. What you get from us here is a meeting of a mind, a conversation that could be about orange juice. It doesn't matter. It's just a conversation that we're having for our benefit and yours. Having said that, let me introduce this beautiful man to you from the DMV area. He's not a hairstylist. I like to call him a hair entrepreneur because this young man is quite busy and quite booked, and it's all on his terms. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to my platform for the very first time, Mr. Challis Aubre.
Hola.
All right. Hello, mister.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. You made it on time.
I did. I was a little frustrated. I was just like, I don't want to waste anybody's time, so let me hurry up and get situated. And I did that. So yeah, I'm on time.
But you know what I love? I understood why. And that's why when I text you, I said I could wait
Mhm,
because you were in the world doing something for someone else to feel good about themselves, to
mhm,
put their best foot forward. That's why I asked you because when I first started looking into you, we've been following each other for a while, but I started really looking into you. And a lot of people don't understand that image is not just for the outward world.
mhm.
Your image, if you are feeling depressed or if you are sad or dealing with a loss or anything, getting your hair done and putting on a lovely outfit can set the tone and change your mood and
Absolutely.
make you feel better. So that's why I was willing to wait because I call you a hair entrepreneur. So you told me, you're like, I got my last client and then I'll be on here. I might be a little late. I'm like, take your time because I just want to first start off this conversation by saying I commend you and that I admire you because for you to be able to choose a profession where you are constantly giving back and not just giving back, but you are helping people look better, feel better, be better. That goes without saying. So allow me to just give you your flowers and say, I want to say I'm thankful that you're here. And more importantly, I am so touched, moved, and inspired by what you do in the world.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. That really means a lot. And that type of inspiration keeps me going on a day-to-day basis. Without words like that, I don't know how I could move forward, and do what I do. So thank you so much. That really means a lot.
You are so very welcome. So, Mister, you are from the DMV area.
Yes, I live in Baltimore. I've been here almost 16 years, but I'm born in South Carolina.
Ah, Southern boy. How do you
Yeah.
like it? I mean, you've been there 16 years. You must like it.
It is good for a taste, but not for a swallow. But this is my home. I've been here for a minute. This isn't some place that I plan to be, but God brought me in this direction, so therefore I'm not going to complain. Yeah.
Oh. Tell me a little bit about that. So, what prompted you to move up north? Because, a lot of blacks from the North Carolina area, they head to Georgia. So, what made you not head to Georgia and say, I'm going to go the opposite direction?
I left home at about 19 when
Mhm.
there was like a lot going on in my family, and I just wanted more. I remember taking trips with either the church or with the school bus trips because I hadn't been on the plane yet. And we would go to these cities and just do things. And when I would get back home, I would just get depressed and I wanted to be somewhere else. So once things started happening in my family that I was too young to have control over, I left home as soon as I could and I moved to the 757 area, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake. I was there for like 8 years, and I had been in a couple of really like bad relationships, both physical and emotional. And the last relationship I was in, it ended very physically. And I went to the first place where I knew someone, and I knew someone in Baltimore. And he was like, "Well, you can come here for a little while and just get your mind situated." And that's what I did. And I look up, and I've been here 16 years.
Yeah, I do these monologues. You follow me, so you know. I do
Mhm.
these monologues where I'm talking about things like that. And today, it's so funny how the divine and my ancestors work because when I'm channeling, I will do a video before ever having sat down with my guests. I do them beforehand, and then my guests will be right in the vein of what I was talking about.
Okay.
And what I'm alluding to was this. I talked today and I said that a lot of people think that their road is going to not be rocky or not have pain. And even when they do have pain, they get stuck there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's an inability to grow. There's an inability to mature. But
Hmm.
what I love about you is I can just feel that you're not someone that goes quietly into the night. You will stand your ground. You will, like my grandmother used to say, or she still says, stand flat footed and face it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
literally, I'm going to be talking to you like this for the next 50 minutes.
That's fine. I love positivity.
For the next 50 minutes because I was so like I'm just so moved by you, like to be able to leave home so early. I left home at 19, about 19, but I was thrown out for being gay. And my family was very religious. So now, mind you, all my uncles and aunts that were in the church living that lifestyle, they were all gay and lesbian. But
Oh
they
yeah.
on
Hmm.
my mother's side, but they were into the whole "it's not right, God take it away from me" era. And me, I came along and I was the first grandson of my grandmother. And literally, my attitude was, God made me this way. I'm going to be this way. This is what He created me to be. This is natural.
Right.
And,
Absolutely.
and they couldn't, I'm a mirror, so they couldn't face themselves. So they had to get rid of me. And I went through a lot of dark times, but I wanted to say that a couple of times before this, I was asked, would you do it again? And I said no.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
no.
Why? Like why?
It was so hard and painful. But at the same time, it's not that I would do that again, but I would want lessons that help me be this version of myself, the best version of myself.
Absolutely.
So I was telling you before we got to start because we were going over time zone, and I said my best friend Stevie Boy he lives in the Baltimore area as well.
I feel like I know him or I've heard the name,
Yeah,
and as soon as I probably see a picture, I'm gonna say I know him because
you
there's a lot of very prolific figures here in Baltimore. Very, and he sounds like he's a creative, very creative person.
he is. He's a fashion designer, American fashion designer. And he also created a luxury brand of eyewear, so glasses and things. That's where he is. So he's worked with everyone. He's done stylings and traveled the world. And I actually met,
I definitely believe I know who this is. Yeah.
yeah, he's a brilliant man, and he's always booked and busy. And
Mhm.
I was just telling him before we sat down, I was like, someone's in your area that I'm talking to today. And he said, oh, that's good. And then immediately went into, thank you so much for being my friend. And I'm like, I feel the same way about you. So I actually got the opportunity when I was in middle school to visit the Baltimore area. They took us to the Baltimore Aquarium.
Okay.
And that was a beautiful experience. I had never seen aquatic life that close up. Uh,
Hmm.
I still remember walking above one of the tanks because they had like a walkway above the tank.
Right.
And I remember, and this is something about, I love the ocean, but I don't want to be in the ocean.
Like, yeah, it's the same.
Yes, because everything was huge.
Mhm.
Like, and I'm thinking about it from a metaphoric standpoint where, life, they tell you, oh, you don't want to be a big fish in a small pond and things like that. But one thing that they don't say about the ocean is it is vast.
Oh,
And there are a lot of things that can harm you.
yeah.
You know?
All the time that the ocean is like the aquatic version of space. Where we don't belong in space and we don't belong in the ocean.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, because everything in the ocean is carnivorous.
Yeah, it is.
Everything,
It is.
everything, from dolphins to small fish, it eats someone.
It does. A wonderful thing, absolutely. And they have to survive just like we have to survive. That's not a place we belong.
Not, it's not. It's not a place. And I watch a lot because I'm big into animals and things. I went to school as a biologist.
Uh-huh.
I didn't finish. I was going to be a veterinarian, but then entertainment called me in a different direction. But like, I love the study of life, and I remember like so many like facts about animals. And you're right, it's just not somewhere I would want to be.
You're right.
Yeah. We also not when we went there, we also went to a harbor and they had like crab cakes. You guys are known for like your crab cakes.
Yeah, the crab cake, the crab cakes in general, all the seafood, the harbor at this point is pretty much non-existent. All of that stuff. I mean, the aquarium is still there, but as far as the touristy, the attractions and all that kind of stuff, it's they're about to build a bunch of high rises on top and just turn it into like city.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen so much um,
Change.
changes. Yeah, I've seen so many changes, so many transactions since I've been here for the city, and they're all for the good. I will say that, but the culture, what Baltimore is known for, is slowly but surely being hidden behind shiny things.
Would you venture to say it's more so getting rid of the black culture in Baltimore?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that I think they're looking more to get rid of the riffraff, so to speak. This is the city. We are known for the seafood. We're known for Johns Hopkins. We are known for the Ravens. We are known for the Orioles. We're known for all of these things, but sometimes the people in the city, we tend, because I'm from here, we tend to harm our own community. And so I think they're just trying to upgrade the city and just make it a better and safer place. And for the people that probably can't afford it or don't agree with it, I'm sure they'll either move or they'll go to the county and everybody else will move into the city. So yeah, we're going to be very, very similar to maybe, I'm not going to say New York, but I know they're upgrading Charlotte. So a lot of places like that are being turned around into like the better for the community.
They're doing it here in Philadelphia too. I
Yeah.
used to live in Center City and it looks so different. And in the last 3 years, I've been into the center of my city maybe three times because I live an hour away. I needed to do this. I needed to be uninterrupted, the noises and things like that. But yeah, they're really, it looks like a mini New York. It's the big jumbotrons on the sides of the buildings, and I'm like, when did this stuff start happening? And you're right, they erected a lot of condos and condo buildings for
Yeah.
young professionals that they were trying to.
Yeah, so those things like Lego blocks, they'd be up in 6 months.
Yeah, it's crazy because you're right. I see an absence of local life. Like I see an absence of like regular people, and it's more so, like you said, college graduate, entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. They like they're it's not so much touristy anymore. There's still like the Liberty Bell, there's still that, but even that, they've built nothing but condos around it. And it's just, I'm not sad about that, but
Yeah.
it was my stomping grounds.
Yeah. And for the youth coming up, behind us, what will they do? What will they enjoy? What will be their culture? What will they be able to tell their kids and their grandkids about the upbringing? Because it's not going to be nowhere near in comparison to what we're used to.
Yeah. Like they've even stopped a lot of like the Penn's Landing for Fourth of July situations. Like they've pulled back on that too. We used to have famous acts come on the 4th of July and they would, perform down at Penn's Landing on the riverfront and things like that. And a lot of restaurants and things closed. I lived on South Street, which is quite famous in my city, but most of the stores and all of the people are gone. I remember back in, I want to say, 2020. I remember I wanted to go down to my favorite Caribbean restaurant, and literally I got there and it was like no more. Not nada, we have relocated,
Yeah.
nothing. And you know, I will say this too. A lot of cities, and this is sad, but I'm going to get a little political here. This is sad because during the pandemic, a lot of cities really needed funding and aid from our federal government, and they didn't get it. So
Right.
they are trying to still play catch up and to figure out how to reinvigorate their economy themselves. So that's what's happening now, because literally businesses, a lot of mom and pop businesses went out of business.
Mhm.
A lot of things that were staples got crushed. You know, even during the pandemic, my first LLC had to be closed, and it was just like, oh my God. And but me, I'm quite like you. I'm a resilient person. During the pandemic, I too saw and witnessed that these states were fending for themselves, you know, so they've got to do what they've got to do to keep going because they already know they can't depend on the federal government for
Yeah.
much of
I
it.
saw a lot of small businesses diminish. My initial salon, which had only been in business for about a year, thank God we were able to survive that whole pandemic situation. It was very, very difficult. It really, really was. But seeing how we were brand new and I had people and workers that were patient and my landlord was patient. So luckily we made it through, but we were some of the lucky ones. I did see many small businesses, salons, boutiques, whatever they had been, not make it through the whole epidemic. So we're still here. So I'm glad about that.
I'm so glad too. How long have you been in business as a hair entrepreneur?
Actual hairstylist, I have been for 24 years. I have been a salon owner for 6. I had the Challis Aubre salon on Franklin and Paca in Baltimore City, right down from Lexington Market, the heart of the city, for about 6 years. And I recently just upgraded my space into Social Lifestyle Studios, um, which is literally not even, it's like right across the street. So I'm in the same area in a bigger facility at the bottom of an apartment complex. So I have an like, official storefront. And
Yeah.
my other one was a storefront as well, but this one's more of a, I'm gonna say more of a professional building.
Mhm.
So, and we've only been in here not even 3 weeks.
Wow, so it's new.
Oh yeah, it's really new. New construction. We are the first business in this building on the bottom floor. So I have 2 sides of the building, and I wanted 2 sides because we implemented a boutique. We also implemented a content room, which will be our podcast room, and yeah, then we have the whole salon on this side, and each person is in their own studio size room, where everything is content. So when you come in your suite and you engage with your clients, whether it's about therapy or whether it's about you just finishing the product, whatever it is that you're allowed to record in your room with the recording equipment, and then it goes on the social media page for both marketing for you and Social Lifestyle Studios. So that is the idea that I came up in my brain, and I would love to franchise that out into the world.
You don't play any games.
I try not to.
I like that. I could sense that about you. What's your birth sign? I'm just curious.
Cancer.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I am a cancer now. Don't y'all talk no shit
Oh,
because
I ain't got no shit for you. I ain't got no shit for you. I'm just
they
saying
be so hard on the cancers, y'all. I swear,
no,
so hard on us.
no.
A lot of what they say is true, but just so I get it.
No, it wasn't that. I asked because, I'm big in the zodiac and I know that cancers are driven. Cancers are driven. And you guys really do operate on the honor system. How you treat me is how I treat you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So those were the highlights that I got when I asked because, you're really doing your thing. Like you're really doing your thing. And what people don't understand about businesses, even with mine, my business is virtual, but I had to actually file business papers and a license and with my city and
Yeah,
do all
all
those
the
things.
things. Yeah.
Yes. So it's not like I can just abandon my business. It's legitimate. I can run my business from anywhere in the world, which I do want to do because I do at some point, again, because I got the opportunity to go at 22 to Paris and I lived there for 6 months as a fashion model. So I fell in love with that city, so I would like to move there. And I've been working for years to be able to afford that. But even when I go, I must retain a business address here in the States. That will be more of a satellite office. You know, people don't really understand. And now I understand why I get this vibe from you, because even when on your content, you're very determined.
Mm. Mhm.
So determined. And it comes across like, you know, some people, their content doesn't translate. Yours leaped out of the phone at me.
Yeah.
Always.
Because it's personal, and I feel like too many people are just trying to please the audience. And I say all the time, these are my personal experiences, these are my personal feelings, and these are in hopes of helping someone or supporting someone or advocating someone who's a fan who totally gets it. And if you don't get it, then you can just either unfollow or keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that attitude, because really, um, one of my mentors used to always say, people always have a lot to say, but they never notice that there are only five people on each team on the basketball court. All
Mhm.
of screaming, whatever they're screaming, are in the stands. But it takes a lot of work to be one of the five, merely the five, altogether the 10 on the court, actually doing it and making it happen. Everybody else says, oh, well, I thought this about it and I thought that about it. And it's like, who cares what you think? You weren't on there. You weren't out on the court.
Yeah, who cares what you think?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, like really, I find that I get a lot of people that don't always understand what I'm doing. And it's just because, you know, like I said, I have a fashion background. So androgyny has always been something that came very easily to me. And also, I'm two-spirited. I have a masculine spirit and a feminine spirit in one body. I'm completely whole. I lack nothing as far as emotional intelligence. So, you know, I get that sometimes it goes over people's heads, and I'm nice. I'll break it down. But sometimes they catch me and I have to use my title, the Queen of Shade. I am the trademarked Queen of Shade. And, you know, sometimes I have to let them know, sweetie, your lack of education and ability to comprehend is not my issue.
Yep.
You know, I'm very much in.
The issue and not a me issue. That's one of my favorite sayings. That is all on you. It has nothing to do with me.
How easy was it or difficult was it to form your chosen family? Because people like you and I, we sit and we are in such a powerful position. We're the thinkers. You know, people don't realize that. A lot of people say, oh, you do this or oh, you do that. But you and I, we get paid to think. And that's what people don't understand. Your salon and all you do, that was an idea that you manifested. So you're really being paid for what you thought about in your head. So I wanted to know, how, was it easy for you to find that chosen family of like minds that think like you? Are they young professionals? Like, how was that kind of journey?
Um, I'm a firm believer that nothing is easy, and I'm a Cancer, and I am very assertive and affirmative in the things that I want. But at the same time, I can procrastinate. So therefore, I make things harder on myself a lot of the times. So in moving here and cultivating friendships and family and things like that, um, I have a way of saying things and a way of doing things that draw people into me. Therefore, I really don't choose people to be in my life. I kind of feel like they choose me. And then it's just my choice to decide if that's something I want to cultivate or not. Um, the friends that I have, the family that I have, well, I really don't have like family here, but my friends are my family. The ones that I have here, I've been friends with them almost the entire time that I've been here. I believe in loyalty and I believe in respect and I believe in support and advocacy and all of these things that grown people should really believe in order to really foster a relationship between two people. So I keep my friendships, and if we're no longer friends or no longer family for whatever reason, that's probably because you just did something wrong that I could no longer tolerate. But at no point did I think that anything was easy. I kind of feel like people think that stuff has been handed to me. I've had a lot of situations happen in 2024 specifically where I've had to be extremely resilient. And people hate that. People hate that you bounce back so fast. They want to know what you did, you know, what you stole, who you scammed to get what you got, which in turn, just wanting something and actually fostering the want for something get you the blessings that you want. It's called faith. It's very, very simple. And a lot of people just act like they just don't believe in that and that you have to do something bad all the time to get something good. That's not normally the case. So by people thinking that way about me, and that I'm 43 and I know I don't look my age and I know I don't act my age and I don't carry myself a certain type of way, it's a lot of jealousy that comes with that. So I tend to stay to myself a lot. And the people that gravitate towards me are people that like who I am and they enjoy who I am. And these are the people, this is the type of company that I like to keep.
Yeah, um, I'm the same way. I'm 42.
Mhm.
So I also have done, and I've had 20 years of therapy. So, I've done a lot of work on being who you see here, you know? And even if I was like outside of this dress and all these things, even the man that I became, um, I owe that to the discovery of self-actualization. So yeah, like even with me, I can definitely understand because when you are a visionary, you think all the time. Your brain never goes on autopilot. So that has a way of, my nephew was saying this to me last night. It has a way of pushing people away because
Oh yeah,
it's not
definitely. It's intimidating.
extremely intimidating. And, it is never malicious. It's never malicious.
Mhm.
I have really good friends. One of my babies, she's a Libra like me. Her name is Carol McPherson. She's an artist and a creative as well, stylist, fashion designer. She does a lot. Very beautiful woman. She's still modeling and she models and she's like 45.
Yeah, super
She's
dope.
walking, she's doing shows with girls that are 19 and they have no idea of the hell that she's been through,
I love that.
yeah, so I like that. I like where you went with that, and I want to stay there because faith is the substance. Faith is
Oh
the
yeah.
substance.
Oh yeah.
That's
Just a little. Just a little. That's all you need.
right. I find that a lot of people would rather not have faith and stay safe.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
You've got to take the leap. You've
We
got
do.
to, like, even with my career, I've been in entertainment for 21 years. I was going to sign to a major label when I was younger, but I've always had a problem with other people owning me, my likeness, my recorded voice, all those things, my intellectual property. So even as a young person, I knew that even though I didn't have a dime to my name,
Mhm.
I couldn't give you free me. Like I couldn't do that. Like I knew that I had value. And I said that because of the friends that I have, that mine too are very aware of what I do. And I love having the friends that I have because they never pester me. They never demand of me. I'm the one usually saying, oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. And they're like, and I mean, those are the type of friends. They like, honey,
It's okay. Yeah.
we know we see the grind. It is not just, some people say, oh, I'm busy and ain't doing anything. So, but no, they see the grind. They watch me here. They watch this happen. And, I'm the type of person where, just as you did, I built this from the ground up.
Yeah. Mhm.
Built it. I built it. Like I said before we started, I have literally been posting content as the Queen of Shade for 10 years straight. Every day for the last decade, 10 years straight, I've been posting content because I treated it like a job.
Yeah. And it's a conscious decision to get up every single day and commit to the things that bring you joy, that bring you finances, that put food on your table, all of these things. And you can't be stagnant and procrastinate about it. You have to get up every single day and make a conscious decision to work, whatever it is that you do.
A lot of people, because I mentor as well, so a lot of people, they come to me and they want the secret to success. And when I tell them it's just as simple as doing the work, they're like, they never believe me. They never believe me. I'm like, it's literally do the work and do it until you see the change you want happen.
Huh?
And they're like, it can't be that simple. And they're like, it can't be that simple. And I'm like, it's not simple. But if you keep on the course, you're going to run smack dead into what you seek. You're going to run it over.
It's just about running the course staying in your lane. My Instagram name is individualist, and I stand strong and very, very firm in that. And when deciding what I wanted my Instagram name to be, I just knew I wanted to be in a lane of my own and that I didn't have to have any validation from anyone. This is who I am. And that's the first and foremost step to success is being in a lane that defies you and makes you different than everybody else. Or even if you are the same, find something in there that you can pull apart that makes you different than the next person.
I
That
love.
on top of having the faith and just wanting to have more out of life in general, those three things they'll get you up and running. That'll be the gas you need to get you up and running.
I love that. And I love even more that most people think that when you reach a certain level of success, you have no more struggle. What they need to understand is that's when the struggle intensifies.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it intensifies
Mm-hmm.
because
Absolutely.
now you are paying the cost to be the boss. And what people really don't realize, and I said this the other day, was, you know, yes, being a leader, being a success is very expensive, but being poor, not having any access to resources,
Yeah.
that's even more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's even more expensive.
Very expensive.
Yes, very expensive. So you want to be on the side of success where you, like I was telling my last conversation, he was saying, yes, we say how hard it is, but we want it to be hard.
Uh-huh.
We
Yeah.
want to, we want
Yeah.
to, we don't want to change it
Yeah.
because it makes us. It
Uh-huh.
literally shapes us and makes us. And the things that we are blessed to do, what people don't understand is I'm not working 24/7 all the time. I do have times for myself. Now, me, I'm a little bit of a workaholic, but I still do take time to collect my thoughts. You
Yeah.
know, they,
Uh-huh.
that's the thing. Even with our like famous musicians, famous actors, famous dancers, famous this, famous that, people of notoriety, even in their community, what you don't see is, in the world, and I don't like this about the world. I really don't. They hide the strings. They hide the strings. Everybody's so obsessed with hiding the strings. And it's like you don't understand. A string allows somebody who wants to do what you do to see how it's done.
Oh yeah.
Because there's always this competitive fierceness of I don't want anybody like me. Baby, they could do the same thing you do and not they will not be you. They will not come close to what you are or how you do what you do, though you may do the same thing. There are tons of social media this, tons of recording artists with music out, such as myself. There are tons of us. But like you said, it is in the finding of your own formula and the understanding of your own formula. I said this in a video before I sat down. At this stage in my career, I am simply lathering, washing, rinsing, and repeating.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. I
Yeah.
am simply just working that formula and walking my way into what I want more and more of. Every person I have brought to my camera this season has been a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. And that was not even my intent. And
Mm-hmm.
get this, a lot of them were still on their way to it. But
Yeah.
I have vision enough to see the trajectory of where they're going and where they're going to end up.
Yeah.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been surrounding myself. I'm meticulous with season 2 because I've wanted to bring Black professionals to the forefront. Season 1, it was still Black and brown, but it was not so much the push for entrepreneurship, the push for individuality, the push for standing your ground. You know, every single person, including yourself, gainfully employed.
Yeah.
gainfully employed.
Gainfully employed.
You know, even with all that's happening, it's just like, oh, that just comes with the territory. I love what you said earlier. You said, oh, if you don't get this and understand it, just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. It's
Yeah.
just that simple. And you know, I find a lot of people don't. They don't. They
Yeah.
think that they think that them telling you their opinion is going to somehow put a damper on what you're doing and how you're thinking. And I have to tell, most of the times, I had a challenge a couple of years ago. I tell them, sweetheart, your haters don't matter. What check are they cutting you? Fuck
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
Fuck them. Like, and every horse that they rode in on, you know?
Yeah.
I love talking to people like you because it's a chance to start to, like I said, when I was writing, I was like exchanging numbers and it's becoming the community.
Mhm.
Like I will not rest until everyone in my phone is an entrepreneur. That's what I choose to surround myself with. That's what I choose. All different walks of life. But I don't see how anyone can really be gainfully employed building someone else's dream.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Now, many of us have had to do that for a season, but to stay that way, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't want anybody in my phone. And I got thousands of people in my phone. And these people are entrepreneurs. I'm alluding to the fact that, like you said about being an individualist, these people think for themselves.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm after.
Yeah.
Forward thinkers, independent thinkers. Now, I'm going to ask a personal question, but it's how does your mommy feel about her son being so successful, leaving home so early and never coming back? Never coming.
Um, my grandmother raised me initially between my grandmother and my aunt. My mom suffered with drugs
Yeah.
as a child. And so as an adult, she and I have cultivated this amazing relationship where she calls me every single day and we talk anything about the salon to her job to married to medicine and housewives, whatever's on television that we both watch. She's extremely proud. She's extremely proud. And it's almost to the point where she has to call me to ask me if I need anything because I never ask. Um, she's a proud mother as a whole, with me being an adult, a whole gay man out here in these streets, where some parents shun their kids for being who they are. And my mom, she never not once judged me or talked bad about me or threw me to the side or shunned me or any of those things. And I tell people all the time, be that parent for your gay child, and your gay child or your child in general will take care of you forever. They will take care of you forever. Um,
Like I love how much you occupy your space when you, like, I love that. Like you are very,
well,
yeah, you like, what's going on? Like I'm
okay,
that
like,
way.
I'm so confused. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I'm that way
my
too.
new place is on the bottom, and it's very industrial, so we hear a lot.
Yeah.
But it's a very wide open space, so I be hearing stuff, and now the music is off, so now I really hear what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, look at how bothered you are.
yeah. Like what's going and I know you can relate to this. It's like as soon as you have something to do, here are all of the distractions. Like my dog even does it sometimes. Like all of a sudden he barks, so I'm just like, you never bark, but it's not now that I'm on live. You want to make a noise, and yeah, so it just be like that. So that's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, my mom, she's and she'll be up here for Christmas. She's she's very proud, and I'm proud to have her as a mom. I'm glad that we have made this amazing relationship. I lost my younger sister about almost 9 years now to suicide. And I had a younger sister, and then I have an older brother, then I have three half sisters, in which none of us really like communicate. But out of all of the sisters, I was probably the closest to this one, even when I didn't talk to her as much. And my sister had a lot of mental illness issues, and she dealt with a lot of emotional and physical abuse that um, we can't even fully identify because she didn't really talk to us much about it. But then after the fact, we found out so much that was wrong. And so based upon that, the relationship between me and my mom have gotten closer because she doesn't want that to happen again. So, when things like that happen and you lose a child, you draw more closer to your other kids because you don't want anything to happen. And so for that reason, she and I have gotten even more close.
You know, it's so ironic how similar parts of your story are to mine. My mommy too, in the 80s. That's when the drugs swept the community. My mommy got caught up in it as well. My grandmother raised me and my aunt. It's exactly the same thing. Um, Unfortunately, my mother, she's still alive, but she did drugs for like 25 something years of my life.
Oh yeah,
And she had a stroke. And now she's still in there. Like she still got the power and, her sharpness. But now she can't speak. She can't speak and she's paralyzed on her right side. And I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know her. I don't know her. And I care about her care. She's in an assisted living facility. I will never take her out of there. I will never assume responsibility for her, though I will always do what she always asked me to do, which is this. She knows how to do this. And
oh money.
yeah, every time I see her, every time she calls, every time. And I find it so funny because it's just like you want access to an account you never put any money in.
Or an emotional account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And because of who I am and what I became. And I'm like, that's not how it happens. That's
yeah,
not how it works. But I'm so very happy that you and your mommy have a great relationship because it's nice to be able to tell your children what you were really going through. Um, my mother, I live with bipolar type 1, which is why I told you the 20 years of therapy. Bipolar type 1, PTSD because of my childhood, and acute anxiety disorder. And they're all very nasty disorders. They have risen their heads in my career in times past and caused me to forfeit things like my career as a model in Paris. But now, after the 20 years of therapy, I'm way more balanced and way more in control. And I always tell people about that side of myself because, the world, especially for us black and brown people, we're not allowed to have any flaws. We're not
right.
allowed to have, it's so weird because when we say we're struggling, we say we need help, they're looking at, oh, here you go, you want reparations again. And it's like, no, 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 sweetheart. I'm battling for my life.
Yeah,
I'm literally battling for my life.
just an everyday occurrence. Something
Yeah.
we have to do every single day. Yeah,
Every day, every day, every day, every day. It's just, um, it's nice when you can reconcile. It's nice when you can um, inspire others that way. One thing my mother did do for me, she used to sit me down in front of the TV and she would play me Disney. And I watched all the movies and I sang all the songs. And ironically, today, um, when I sing, I sound like a Disney character. It's really funny how that happens. It's so funny because I have that voice. I'm a mezzo soprano. So I sing with that light. There's that light, Disney for the enchanting, the
yeah, yes,
little,
very very Broadway.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
do that now. And it's kind of funny, but that and handing me over to my grandmother were the two greatest things she ever did for me. So I harbor no ill will for her, but I just don't know her. And now that I am who I need to be, fully self-expressed, I'm not a bank.
yeah,
I'm not a bank. So, no, moving on with that. It's no, it's just so amazing. So you are, I call you a hair entrepreneur because there's just so many things you do. But
Yeah.
you also have the social media aspect. How did that come about? Because you do that just as well.
Um, it's crazy because at first I wanted to be this hairstylist that everyone followed me just because of hair, and I still do. And I was in a 4 year relationship. And before the 4 year relationship, I was with someone else, and then I was with someone else, and that I never really had the time to just take care of me and understand who I was. There would be very small breaks in between, but I would always end up with someone else because I'm just a relationship oriented person. But this relationship, the end of this one just really broke me. And I began to date, and I'm just realizing that over the course of 4 years, things change so much that when you're single and then you're getting on dating apps and you're talking to people and you're doing these things, that it's not like it was just 4 years before, even sometimes 60 days. People just switch up so quick. And so the social media came from me just trying to figure out who I was while single, while running a salon, while moving out and just starting over completely. It's just almost like a divorce. And so then being in my 40s, I just turned 40 or 41. And so that's where that came from. Most of my posts came from just personal experiences with dating and meeting guys and not having the best experience, or actually having the best experience, but then getting ghosted, or having communication with guys who don't know how to effectively communicate, but they want to know why they're single, or even taking accountability on my end that I probably didn't say or do something right. Um, I feel like a lot of the times on social media, we go up there and everything is good all the time. We never really say the bad. People want to be perfect and they just want to show the world that, they can do no wrong. I like to get up there and I like to show both sides of who I am. I like to showcase the good. I like to showcase the bad. If I've done or said something wrong, I want to apologize for it. And I do like to give dating advice according to how I like to be respected and how I like to be communicated with. And so, like I said, my page is for those who understand who I am, who are a fan base of what I advocate for in reference to myself. Because, self love is everything. And so I'm teaching people to love themselves in the way that I love myself and not to settle for just anything. Um, I will say this: I got into a dating situation earlier this year, and prematurely I put him out there, and I should not have, because I had so much going on. I felt like he was like the light at the end of the tunnel, and it just didn't work out because I just had so much going on that I didn't have time to foster into him, breathe life into him the way that I wanted. He was a great guy, but our relationship was more assertive on one end than the other, and I'm not really a submissive person. Um, and therefore, I hadn't gone online to talk about that, only because people, they like, not only do they like to see the good, they like to see the bad. I didn't want to become a hypocrite of what I was saying in reference to how I dated and settling and all these other things. I didn't want to become a hypocrite and say one thing and then do something else. So I took a break from the whole relationship advice, because me taking my own advice at that point put me in a situation that I could not handle. And sometimes I see why people don't um, take the same advice that they give, because it's harder for them to do it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much been it. I don't rehearse what I'm saying when I get up there. Something probably happened, or I'm probably talking to a friend about something, and it became just a topic like, this will be interesting to talk about. And I'm usually in my truck, my favorite place, and I have a Wrangler. I've always wanted a Wrangler, and so I have my deepest thoughts in that Wrangler. So I get to talking and just saying how I feel, And I never really knew how relatable I was to people until my followers started to go up and people started to DM me and I started to speak to people in public that were like, oh my God, I really fuck with you. And so for that reason, I just kept going.
Yeah. You know, I love the fact that you let it hang out.
Mhm.
Like that's how I got to where I am. Like I let it hang out. Like
Yeah,
I
let it hang out. Yeah.
and then and what's so funny is when I first started, it was about what I was saying, you know? I didn't have any of this together. I didn't know how to do any of this at that time. And I had on my grandmother's church hats. That's what I had as props. And I worked out a lot, so I would be bare chested with some necklace or something on with these big ass fucking church hats. Yeah, like and we only had 15 seconds back then on Instagram, so I had to be quick and tactful and to the point.
Uh-huh.
And I did that, and then it blossomed. And what I was going to say as I was listening to you is the more successful you become, you price yourself out of every market.
Yeah.
This is something that I had to realize about myself um, 2 days ago. That's how recent this epiphany is because even with my social media audience, I'm a diamond.
Mhm.
I was made under intense pressure and through intense pain. And the problem with that is not everyone can afford a diamond.
Not very true.
So you have to, my career, when I used to flip out about it, is because I do a lot of waiting for the proper customer.
Mhm.
So what I had to realize, and I said this to my grandmother, most of the following that follows me, I've priced myself out of their market. So that's why I have to continue my journey to the land of wealth, for me being France, and do the different things, because I've literally, in all that I've done, all the therapy, all the self growth, all the time, money, education, energy that I have invested in myself as a means of self love, put me right on out of their league. And
Right.
realize that, so many times I look, they love to like watch me. They like to stare in and peer. And I'm like, that's not how this works. This costs money. This costs money. This all costs money.
Yeah. Mhm. It all does. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm funding that, so I had to start appealing to a different audience. And the crazy thing is, I didn't have to change. The audience I started with still watches me, but I'm not so moved by numbers. I'm not so moved by comments, likes, and shares. I have this thing where, because on my social media, especially Instagram, I highlight and showcase my Black and Latin brethren whom are into fitness. That's always been something that hasn't been an interest to me since college, actually since high school when I ran track, lifting weights was a part of it. That's always been something I needed, because as a person that lives with type 1 bipolar disorder, when I work out, my chemicals and the levels in my brain even out. So it's kind of like it's medicine. I take medicine, but that for me is therapy as well.
Yeah.
So I showcase that because in my work, I work so much, the guys are my commercial break
Mhm.
in my show. And
Yeah.
also, they don't understand, being an openly out and proud gay man, I am energized and reinvigorated when I see a beautiful man.
Yeah. And that's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I do, but I realized my market changed. You put all this stuff in you, and you hear people say, oh, well, this is your price. And they're like, oh my God, why is it that? You're paying for my expertise, my experience, my pain, my lessons. You're paying for all that. You're not paying, just for this service. You're paying for the skill behind it. You're paying for the expertise. You're not paying for me to do the service. You're not paying for Well, you are paying for how I look, that too, but that's different. Like you
All the
are paying.
things.
Yes, you are, but literally, it's so crazy because, like I said, on the anniversary, January 1, my prices are doubling,
Hmm.
doubling. It's been a whole decade. I have established my reputation. They
Hmm.
know what I want. They know where I'm going. I've
Yeah.
already put it on the map. These people have heard me publicize. She is going to France. Well, look, if you want the same, it's so funny too because I have people in my life that don't mind that. They don't mind that. I surround myself with people where my best friend, look at this, my best friend pays me to talk to me. Okay. Literally. Shout out to my best friend, Vic. I love you. Thank you for the wig, Vic. Thank you for the wig. That's a joke we always do. No, it is. Because he says to me, Bjorn, because that's my first name. He's like, Bjorn, I'm paying you for your time. I know how much you work. So he's like, I'm paying into your time.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be talking to me and losing money. I always tell him, I say, Vic, you a godsend. I never had
But
it.
that's right.
Yeah,
I know that's right.
I
Yeah.
never had people like that in my life before.
Yeah.
Before doing this, no.
Yeah.
Like I never had people barge in, people burst in your life, and they commandeer your time, they commandeer your day, and my friends don't do that. My friends
Mhm.
are like, they will write me a check. This is for 2 hours. We need you here.
Yeah.
I'm like, and
Yeah.
honestly, that took me some time to
Mhm.
wrap my head around. But get this, I said this again in a monologue earlier before we sat down. Law Roach said it best. If you have real friends and they don't do something to improve your financial situation, they not your friend.
Not real friends. Yeah.
Oh, they not your friend. No,
Yeah.
they not your friend. And I got to see that in real time in my life. I don't have anyone in my life whom doesn't respect my value, whom doesn't see the benefits of who I am. I don't have time. And get it, it's vice versa. I see my friends, I know what my friends are up to. I keep tabs, and it's like, yo, and I'm that kind of friend where I'm always there. I will stop what I'm doing and be there because you need me. But my thing is this though, and that's why I love my friends. Don't expect me to be there all day and all night.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I got shit to do.
I'm coming through. I said I pull up. I pull up. Don't
Right.
expect me to stay here because I got an empire to run. You know,
Right.
so so it's just a wonderful thing. I like to hear how people, especially us, the gay community, I like to hear how we make those partnerships and friendships because I'm not gonna lie, I'm 42 years old. You 43. We've been around for a minute. This
Oh yeah.
gay community they fickle. They real fickle, and it's difficult to meet people of our caliber, people going your way. But I said all of this to say that even though it's difficult, it's even more difficult for an entrepreneur. We are very intimidating.
Yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, I don't have a consumer mentality. I understand the consumer mentality because I started there, but I have an entrepreneurial mentality. I have a brain now that people don't and they know this, that people don't come to me with problems to vent. They come to me with problems that they want solved.
Yeah.
There's a difference. I'm not the girl to sit and listen to you and, oh girl, he did this and he did that. How many times has he done this? This is me. How many times has he done this? Okay, so he's shown you more than once that this is who he is. Now what you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
That's I live there because I'm so used to putting out fires in my own organization. I'm so used to having to come up with the solution and many times being the only one who is
Uh,
there to come up with the solution. So
yeah.
I'm just applauding you because I wanted to talk to you. And I also want you to say, I want to also say, bring the relationship advice back because just because you may have something happen in your life that may have required you to handle it a different way, I think that that is even more of a benefit for
Yeah.
you to be able to say, I said this and I lived this way and this happened. Now let's unpack this. Because then we're unpacking why I even went that way. And that's going to help people even more.
Yeah.
That's going, that's,
That's very true. Yeah.
yeah, like that. Like my grandmother, she, my grandmother's the one that invested in my company, mind you. She
Hmm.
worked for 40 years as a teacher, 35 years, and her retirement, she literally wrote a check and gave me her retirement, six
Oh,
figures. Yeah, she handed me six figures. I still have conversations with her surrounding it, and recently she told me, because she always believes in me. She's always there. She's my number one cheerleader. She's my number one investor. But she told me recently, she said, baby, she said, I just felt guilty. She said it wasn't the whole reason, but it was some of the reason for me. She said, because I watched you have a life where you're in therapy, not because of what you did to yourself. You're in therapy to process what everyone else did to you.
oh yeah. Hmm.
And she said, I see that. She says, and I see and I admire how you're taking accountability for everything in your life. She said, but I need you to understand, ain't nothing wrong with you. It was never me.
Yeah.
And, some people, we look at things and we go, what did I do wrong? Because that's where I was. When the formula wasn't working, I was grueling myself, punishing myself. What did I do wrong? And one day my grandmother she stopped me in mid psychosis. And she's like, baby, why does it have to be you? Why can't it just be what's going on or them? Why can't it be them? And I had a friend. I interviewed him a couple days ago. His name is James Patrick. He's a fitness guru. He always comes to my show with his shirt off. I love that. He always gives a display.
That's the tall guy.
Yeah, yeah. He's a fitness guru, but he ain't no regular fitness guru. His business does $1 million a year.
Uh,
Yeah. And 125,000 a month. Yeah, like he's a different type of breed. But he said something that really helped me the other day. He was like, "Why can't it just be the process? Why does it have to be you being wrong? Why can't it just be what comes with the territory?" And when he said that, it opened me up to a whole understanding because I'm that way. I'm the figure it out, figure it out. I never not have an answer.
yeah.
Even if I say, because get it, I choose when to give answers. If my
Hmm.
friends are having a crisis, it's not time for me to tell them, well, you should have known better. Like, that's not the time for that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Then I
And then,
listen. You
yeah.
know? But later on, after I've helped you to mend, then you gonna hear, and they always know it. Okay, Queen, what
Yeah.
now? And I'm like,
It's
oh
all good. Uh-huh.
yeah, but that's life. That's the cycle of life. That's
Yeah.
who we are as human beings. Key word, human. Human. I used to be that way too. I find that with Black entrepreneurs, especially, the world expects us to not make any mistakes. We
Yeah.
we don't have the luxury to fail. I was saying that in one of my interviews conversations the other day. I was not afforded the opportunity to fail. You
Hmm.
know, I had to keep going. My grandmother invested in me, everything. I had to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like those odds though, because then it bred in me the mindset of I can't go home. I got to fix this. So I got to stay here until I fix it.
I started opening this place, and I picked up an investor and then a business partner because I didn't want to do it all alone. And I was noticing people kept dropping their opinion in places that it didn't belong. And you should do this and you should do that. And the dryer should go here, and you should put the shampoo bowls and maybe put the picture. And I got frustrated because I was just like, I don't need everyone telling me what to do. And so then I got on Instagram and I said, hey, listen, I appreciate the support, but I need you guys to just kind of let me be a creative and get this stuff in order. And it's, all in all, just kind of mind your business, come in and be a client and just let me get stuff situated. And then I got like the hate messages. You're so mean. You need to be humble. It's okay for these people who are supporting you to, say how they feel and also the kind of stuff. And what I said was, when did social media become a place where you can no longer advocate for yourself? That because you are creating a business, or even if you're rich and you have money, they feel like you shouldn't have any problems. And that you should be humble because there are people that are worse off. That has nothing to do with me. And on top of that, you don't know me and you don't know my struggle or what I'm doing to get to this point or how it mentally challenges me on a daily basis to do these things. So it's not fair that she just say you need to be more humble.
You know what? I'm going to say it, and it's going to be recorded. It's going to be recorded because I'm tired of it too. I get it too. That's why I was shaking my head the way I was. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one.
Yeah.
But I find that the public, how can I say this? They think we work for them.
Oh, yeah.
And what they need to understand is if I worked for you, you owe me money.
Yeah.
So since you haven't paid me, I don't work for you. Because see, I invoice out work that I do. Social media, for some reason, it can be a beautiful thing, but you get a lot of, we call them keyboard bullies.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And quite frankly, fuck them and what they think.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when I turn on this camera, I'm alone.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
I have to figure it out. Now, many of them are great and in great positions in their lives because I put them there. So if I put you there and taught you to respect boundaries and to have other people respect your boundaries and to say no and to advocate for yourself and to speak up for yourself, how dare you think I wouldn't do it for myself when I'm the one that taught you how to do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My block list, you don't even want to know how long. Listen.
I've learned to just ignore and block because it's really a shame when you just can't get online and say, I've had a bad day.
Yeah.
If you say, I normally make $800 to $1,000, but today I only made $4. There's always somebody to be grateful for what you have. You should be grateful. There's someone like that kind of stuff annoys me because just because we have a goal in mind, we have a goal in mind. So we're trying to adhere to that goal. And sometimes it's disappointing to us that we didn't reach the goal that we had. And it's not for you to say, be grateful because there is someone that's not fair. And they do it all the time to me. And I'm just like, I don't.
Challis. Challis.
Yes.
I have never met a humble millionaire.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Like, get this. Not one.
Yeah.
Not ever. And I've been doing this 21 years. I have never met a humble millionaire.
Yeah.
I have met millionaires that speak their mind, do what they do, and if you cross them, they tell you about it because they don't have that fear that you're going to take their finances.
Yeah.
A lot of us, when we first started, it was, the client, but then the client can demand too much. How they say the lady doth protest too much. The client, no, baby, I like what you said before. You said, Just come in and be a client.
Mhm.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, just be a client. Yeah.
We
Let
don't
me
need
set the
no
environment. Let me set the tone without feeling like you've inserted something that's giving you power.
Yeah.
Because that's not what I asked for. And it's not about being mean, but when the roles are flipped, it's like if you just bought a new house, do you want everyone telling you how you should decorate? You know, you don't. That
And
is something that you have to do that makes your creative space comfortable for you.
and furthermore, my house ain't community property.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people think, oh, because it's social media, that our safe spaces that we create for ourselves first
Yeah.
are community property.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I quickly, now mind you, I'll clap back. Oh, I don't play. I don't play. I'll clap back. But most of the time, I'll block. And I am a little mean. I ain't gonna lie. I own it. I mean, I like for them to type me a whole book. Type me a whole book. Put your heart and your mind and your soul and every bit of your 2 cents in that comment. And I love to screenshot it and then erase it. All that time and energy that you put into it, honey, I love for them to do that. And then I love to make it disappear. Let me tell you, like that literally tickles me because I'm like, you did all of that
You did all of that.
for it to never be seen in life. I know how to silence them. I know how to make my punishments hurt. You will not bully me online or in my life
You won't.
because I know how to make it hurt. I don't play that. But listen, it has been a long day for you. I just wanted a little of your time. And Chalice, I thank you for the time that you granted me because you, like I said, you're making people look better and feel better and running your business and building and expanding. And I just thank you for fitting us in because you didn't have
Of course.
to.
Yeah. I really appreciate it. And when given the opportunity to just talk about me and who I am, it's always a pleasure. It
Yeah.
really,
And I want to say something to you. Get used to doing these because you have a lot to say.
really.
You have a lot to say. And fuck humility. I mean that. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
period.
Like what with a broom handle, baby? Like yeah. No, we don't. Ain't no time. Confidence is the answer.
I
Confidence is
love that. I'm going to put that on a shirt. Fuck humility.
yes, because
Yeah.
it doesn't get this. Poor people tell you to be humble because what? They're humbled by life. They're humbled by life.
Yeah. Right.
So you can only tell me to be what you are.
Yeah.
You can't tell me to think and grow rich. And oh my God, be wealthy. You don't know what that is, baby. You don't live that life.
No clue.
So
No clue at all.
all you can tell me is what you are.
Yeah.
You know. Season one, I used to end these with saying, give me 3 words that inspire and empower you. Season two is a little different. Even though you're a man of faith, and I know this, I say, make a wish. Tell me out loud, charge the atmosphere so that it returns to you and it doesn't return to you void, something you want to do. And for the faith-based people, when I say make a wish, I don't mean genie. I mean, out of your tongue, with your tongue, life and death cometh out of your mouth. Speak life to yourself now, something you want to accomplish or achieve.
I wish to be put in a position, regardless of what the position is, to be able to give back and make sure everyone I love is good. And I love everyone.
Yeah.
I love everyone. I don't want to be in a position to tell anybody no that is in need. So I've been in need before. It sucks. And I just want to be put in a position to just give and give and give and give and just make sure everyone is good.
And it's going to happen because anything you give will be a tax write-off. Anything you give. See, people don't know how to give properly.
Yeah.
You don't go in your pocket and pull out $5. You go to the bank, you withdraw that, you write that off. That is the amount of money you took for the day, and then you delineate it how you want to. But it's already been accounted for and written off. My grandmother used to tell me all the time, she says, when you start doing, when you start going places and you are, because I would talk to her about valet and restaurants and servers. She said to me, what you're going to do, because my grandmother's very financially savvy. She says, what you're going to do is take a wad of hundreds. Because she says you like to give $100 tips. So she's like, what you're going to do is we're going to write that off. We're going to make sure it's accounted for. And then you're going to put that wad or have your security or somebody carry that. And when you go to valet and you have, because I'm the type of person where I started from the bottom. So I talk to everybody at the bottom because I'm no longer there. But I like to motivate other people that are at the bottom. So if you come to bring me the car, I'm like, long day, this your only job, you should. And then if they say yes, I say, you should have a side hustle, what you doing for yourself. I like to pay that forward, put in their heads that they should be entrepreneurial instead of consumer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always tells me, when you give, we're going to make sure it's in the budget. You're going to write it in there so you can just pass out. Then I can take the 100 and give it to you because it's already accounted for. Yeah. But a lot of people don't even know how to successfully give, and I blame the church for that. Because, the idea of, it's an offering, it's a this, it's a that. Watch man give into your bosom, watch God restore. And I'm like, no, y'all got that wrong, because even when you tithe, they're supposed to give you a total at the end of the year so you can take to your accountant. And I've seen, even with my grandmother, I've seen the church be grotesquely under what she gave. My grandmother, towards the end of her career, was making 6 figures. They tried to tell her that one year in her tithes and offering, she gave only $10,000.
They counted her up, huh?
Yeah. Incorrectly, grotesquely, to where the pastor was walking by and stuck her head in there and said, I know y'all need to get that right, because that's a lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyway, thank you so much for, at the end of the day, sitting down with me. I enjoyed this.
Of course.
Hold on. Go away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Mr. Challis Aubre. Now, before we run off, tell them where you're located, how to get their hair done, and what your social media is.
I am at my new location, Social Lifestyle Studios, where art is the standard and creativity is a lifestyle. Here at Social Lifestyle Studios, everything is content, from the creations that are done in each studio room 1 through 6 to the art on the walls to the boutique once that gets set up, and the content room. This is a place that's supposed to beautify you, and you can take a picture on any wall and go home and be glorious. I'm at 501, West Franklin Street, Baltimore, Maryland, Suite 1 and 2. And under my Instagram is _individualist, or you can check out Social Lifestyle Studios on Instagram as well.
Thank you so much. So did you enjoy? Was the conversation everything you thought it would be? It was for me. I love catching up with my friends. It was absolutely amazing. So if you thought it was amazing, please continue to watch, comment, like, and share. And most of all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you, and I do this for you. Good, wholesome content about self-love, self-confidence, and self-healing. The Queen of Shade loves you all. Remember my name, the Queen of Shade. Mwah.
You could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. And I wish you could have more of me,
subscribe to the Queen of Shades YouTube today for over 1,000 original videos created by the Queen herself. Subscribe today.
Turn that TV down.